Hi everyone, welcome to my channel International Storyteller. In this channel, you will find true horror stories worldwide. These stories are for entertainment purposes only. In this video, I will tell you the scary story of a BPO company in India. The name of the BPO company is Saffron Global Corporation. This company is renowned for its commitment and services to customer satisfaction. It has a call center team that handles incoming and outgoing customer calls for other businesses. The Saffron Global Corporation is located in Gurgaon, which is a city located in the northern Indian state of Haryana. This city is also located just southwest of the Indian capital, New Delhi, and is considered very good for getting a job. Many private companies in this city work not only during the day but also during the night. Saffron Global Corporation is also one such company that work during both day and night shift. But at night, nearby people kept distance from this office and regarded it as a haunted place. This is because the land on which the Saffron BPO office was constructed used to be a graveyard earlier. Many local people considered the Saffron BPO office a haunted call center. The employees working there also confirmed that their office was haunted. There are hundreds of employees who have worked in that office for many years. During the night shift, most of the employees noticed something unnatural and strange experiences inside the office. Some said that they always felt somebody standing at their back inside the elevator. Others said that they often heard strange voices at midnight. It had become a part of their office life, and they started to ignore all those paranormal incidents. However, despite knowing everything, no one wants to talk openly about this scary incident to the public. In one incident, a male employee went to the men's washroom at around 1 a.m. He was sleepy and was splashing his face with cold water. There was nobody else in the men's washroom at that time except him. Suddenly, he heard a girl screaming from the next room. As the women's washroom was next to the men's washroom, the male employee thought someone might be screaming for help. So, he rushed out to help and saw a female colleague inside the women's washroom. She was staring at him with shock and told him why he was coming inside the women's washroom. The male employee asked if she was the one screaming inside the washroom. The woman got confused and replied, no, and said she had not heard anyone screaming in the washroom. The most strange thing is that there was no one else other than her in the washroom. There are many scary ghost stories happening in the Saffron BPO office. But the most scary story is about a mysterious girl who worked in the office for a few months and then suddenly disappeared. A Bollywood horror film was made based on the mysterious girl working at the BPO office, and it was released in 2022. The title of the movie is Rosie, the Saffron Chapter. The story of this horror film is about the mysterious disappearance of a call center employee. So who is this mysterious girl who suddenly disappeared from Saffron BPO company in Gurgaon city, and what is the story behind it? In order to know this, let us hear the scary story of the Saffron BPO company in the Indian city of Gurgaon. In 2005, there was a female employee working for a BPO company called Saffron Global Corporation, and her name was Rose. She was a young girl and a hard-working employee. She is working there as a company representative. Usually, she used to work at night shift. Rose was a very talented, helpful, and lovely girl. She was very popular in her office because she was very good at her job. She always achieved her targets and continuously won the title of Employee of the Month. Her punctuality and always meeting her targets made her an inspiration for many other employees working in her office. Rose had also made many employees in the office as her friends, and everyone also loved her. She has been working in that office for almost 6 months. But there was a deep secret behind Rose's hard work, which many employees did not know. One day, while Rose was working on a night shift, she received an incoming call. At that time, nobody expected to receive calls, and usually, such types of calls last for only 5 to 6 minutes. Rose answered the call and said, "Hello, Rose speaking from Saffron Global Corporation." The caller asked her only a few simple questions, which she answered perfectly. It was a night shift, so there was no heavy workload in the office during that time. Most employees were spending their time by chatting each other. Rose's colleagues were expecting that she would be free from the call in about 10 to 15 minutes and would join the talk with them. But it did not happen as they thought because Rose had been on the call for around half an hour. After half an hour passed on the call, Rose started to behave abnormally. She stopped smiling and started to say strange words that had nothing to do with the customer. Everyone was horrified to see Rose's unnatural behavior. Then a few minutes later, Rose's team leader joined her call to check if she needed any support. The team leader took away the telephone from her and started to talk with the caller, but found out that there was no one on the other line. Then she noticed that the call had already been disconnected. She checked the phone log and found that the call had been disconnected for a long time before. The call was active for only 32 minutes. But Rose had been talking on the phone for more than an hour. So the team leader started thinking, what is wrong with Rose? Why has she been talking to herself on the phone? Had she gone through a mental problem, or was she fooling everybody? Meanwhile, Rose was sitting in her chair like a statue and did not talk to anyone. A moment later, she told her team leader that she would be taking a long leave from today. Then Rose stood up and left the office without saying the reason why she would be taking a long leave. She did not even bother about her stuff that she used in the office. After a few minutes, some employees started to talk to each other about Rose. Everyone was frightened because of Rose's strange behavior. They had already heard from local people that the office in which they worked was built on top of a graveyard. Then a few employees started to share the paranormal experiences that they had encountered in the office. One employee said that Rose's strange behavior may be due to her body being possessed by a ghost. That late night, all employees were very scared, and they just ran away from their office as soon as possible. The next day, Rose was absent, and the office was a bit unpleasant. The employees of the office thought that she might be sick and was unable to come to work. But Rose went on absent for many days. Everyone knows she is the most hardworking employee in their company. Her sudden absence for many days without any reason is really suspicious. The company employee was also shocked by the sudden disappearance of Rose, whom they believed was a promising and hardworking employee. So they wanted to find out what really happened to her. First, the company employee decided to contact her through phone calls or emails, but Rose did not respond. Then Rose's colleague managed to trace her temporary address using her transportation details. After that, Rose's friend decided to visit her apartment where she lived and came for work. So one day, they left the office and went to Rose's apartment. They talked to the landlord and asked him about Rose. But the landlord said that there is no girl named Rose who has ever lived in his apartment. The employees did not believe it and thought the landlord may be lying to them. So, they asked the neighbors of the apartment, and the neighboring people also confirmed that there was no girl like Rose staying around. After hearing that, they were all shocked. They all returned to their offices. Now, they were even more scared. The company manager wants to forget about Rose, who was the best employee of the company. But the employee did not want to leave their lovely friend, Rose, and wanted to know her whereabouts. Their suspicious about Rose missing grew more and more. Then the employees decided to contact Rose's family. But it wasn't easy to contact them, as Rose didn't share any information about her family with anyone. They asked the company manager about her permanent address. The company manager took out Rose's documents, where she submitted only her voting ID card while joining the company. Her permanent address was mentioned on the voting ID card. After that, Rose's friend tried to reach her home. They finally know the address where Rose's parents lived. The next day, they started looking for Rose's parents' house. After a lot of searching, her family was found. The office employees asked Rose's parents, "Where is Rose? What had happened to her, and why did she not come to the office for a long time?" When they asked this question, Rose's parents started to cry out loud. Her family informed that Rose had met with an accident while returning from her office. She was brought to the hospital but was dead on the way. Rose's friends were very upset after knowing that their friend was killed in an accident. Then they asked Rose's parent, "Why don't you informed about Rose dead to the company?" The family got confused and said that the accident that killed Rose happened 8 years ago. Her dead body was buried 8 years ago at the cemetery where the Saffron BPO office was built. The office employees were all shocked to hear that their lovely friend, Rose, had already died 8 years ago. None of them could believe it because Rose had been seeing at the office every working day for the last 6 months. If that is true, it means that they were seeing a dead girl or the ghost of Rose every day in the office for the last 6 months. After learning about Rose's death, this creepy news spread throughout the whole office. The news freaked out the office employees so much that one of Rose's best friends working in the office immediately died due to heart attack. While some other close friends of Rose became mentally unstable as they couldn't believe that their friend Rose was actually a ghost. This scary incident traumatized all the employees working in the Saffron BPO office in Gurgaon City. Now the employees know that their office was built on a graveyard where Rose's dead body was buried 8 years ago. So, they believed that this could have been a possible reason behind this creepy incident about the ghost of Rose appearing in the office for the last 6 months. After this scary incident, many employees quit their jobs from the company. Everybody wrote their resignation letter and handed it to the manager. Later, the manager too resigned from the company. The next day, nobody came to the office, and as a result, the Saffron Global office turned into a deserted building.